the Comma in Sports Network.
NFL Nation, how you doing? Come on in. Welcome to As the NFL Turns, Week 7, baby. It's your boy, Dolph Jackson, baby. It's going down today as I will get you ready for all the day's action. Once again, your boy is flying solo, man. Salute, man, to all my panel of co-hosts, man, to all my brothers, man. We will be back in full strength next week, man. But today, baby, it's me and it's you, baby. So that means what? Dolph is opening up the lines, baby. I want your thoughts, family. NFL Nation, let's get ready. Week 7 as it is going down. And right now, it is going down cross seas, baby, as right now the LA Rams are all over the Jacksonville Jaguars. That game has just gone to halftime. The score 21-0 in favor of the Rams. In this contest, Matthew Stafford, baby, is just putting up Hall of Fame numbers. He is who he is, man. Stafford in this game right now has thrown for 3 touchdowns in this contest. Jaguars cannot get anything going. Right now, it looks as though the Rams, they are halfway home to improving to 5-2 on the season. Well, family, as we go into week 7 and we look around the landscape of the NFL, one thing is becoming quite obvious, or has been obvious for quite a while, but a lot of us have just overlooked it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are legit. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are for real. Baker Mayfield, the poster child for resurrecting a career. A young man that was dealt a bad hand in Cleveland has gone to Tampa Bay and has delivered each and every single season he has been there. After Tom Brady retired, everyone was wondering who would be next. How long would it be before we find a franchise quarterback? In the door walked Baker Mayfield. And since he has walked in the door, he has slammed it shut behind him. He has locked it, baby. He is the man. He is the franchise quarterback of the Bucs. That's the reason they have won 4 straight NFC South titles on the way to a 5th. And today, they take on the Detroit Lions in a NFC Showdown, which is, to me, is one of the most anticipated games of the season. Despite a little lackluster being taken off this game because of the Lions' loss this past week to the Chiefs. Make no mistake about it. These are 2 of the most explosive and talented teams in the NFC. And Monday night, baby, on Monday Night Football, they will go head to head. And to me, family, if you love football, this is a must-see game of the season. All right, family. So again, right now at halftime, it's the Rams leading the Jacksonville Jaguars 21-0. Again, I'm Dolph Jackson. You are tuned in to As the NFL Turns, the fastest growing pregame show on all the social media, baby. Do us a favor. Continue to help us grow the channel. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Whatever platform you are tuned into, please go over to the YouTube channel of the Come On In Sports Network and hit that subscribe button, baby, and notification button, and join the family. You get great content like this. We do live streams of NBA, NHL Red Zone. We got you covered here on the Come On In Sports Network. All right, family. So the first game. So let's get to our first group of games for today. Here we go. The LA Raiders taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, when this season started and you looked around at each division, you had to stop at the AFC West, and you had to realize that the AFC West, from top to bottom, had the best head coaches in the National Football League. Hell, you got 3 Super Bowl winning coaches in that division. You got another one in Jim Harbaugh, who's been to the Super Bowl, yet to capture it. But they're looked upon, each and every single head coach in that division, as one of the top coaches in the National Football League currently or at some time during their career. Now, so far for the Raiders this season, things are not going to plan. They brought in Geno Smith to be that stabilizing force at quarterback. And quite frankly, Geno has been too up and down right now for the Raiders. He's been too inconsistent. And speaking of the Raiders, let's talk about Kyle Blue Kelly. Last week, he allowed not last week, but for the season, he has allowed 23 completions on 33 targets for 363 yards and a touchdown. His yards allowed are the second most among outside cornerbacks, and his 11 yards allowed per target this season is the fifth most in the league. In his previous 2 seasons, Kelly played just 20 coverage snaps where he allowed 5 receptions on 7 targets for 29 yards and a touchdown. But again, as the old saying go, tape don't lie. When people get tape on you, they get your tendencies. He's gonna have to work to get better. This Raiders defense, but by the way, I believe the Raiders defense may be the most consistent thing that they have. When you look at, again, the offensive side of the ball, they got young weapons. You got tight ends. You got young receivers. You got a running back. It all comes down to Geno Smith. Geno Smith must play better today. He must. To give the Raiders a chance today, he cannot be a turnover machine. He must take care of the football. Now, they play the Chiefs. The Chiefs offense has deployed 12 personnel formation on 33% of their snaps, which is the 6th highest in the league. So with Noah Gray and Travis Kelce both on the field for 88% of the Chiefs' 12 personnel plays. And for those who don't know what that is, 12 personnel basically is the number of tight ends and running backs you have on the field. So when you see a team with 2 tight ends and 1 running back, that's 12 personnel. If they add another tight end, that'll be 13 personnel. Quite that simple. Now, within the 12 personnel, the Chiefs have called a pass on 64% of the snaps, which is the 5th highest average in the league, and they have averaged 5.6 yards per pass play, which is the 5th fewest. So they're calling a lot, but they're not having that much success down the field with it. Now, Patrick Mahomes, on the year, the Chiefs have allowed a pressure rate of 24.6%, which is the 2nd lowest in the NFL. Now, Patrick Mahomes is averaging, his average time to throw this year is 2.61 seconds, the 4th quickest among qualified quarterbacks this season. Now, the Chiefs, I believe that victory last week was telling. Many had started to leave the Chiefs for dead, yours included. I didn't pick them to win that game last week. But they were at home. They did what they had to do. You saw that championship pedigree of the Chiefs as they came through against the Detroit Lions. They're getting healthy. Rice is playing today. He returns, so they get their best wideout back today. So look for them to handle business today against the Raiders. I'm going with the Chiefs in this contest, family. I don't know if it's going to be close either. Because right now, I cannot trust Geno Smith. I just can't trust him right now. Now, let's go to the chat. Some comments in the chat right now. Nine says, oh shit, new Mike. Who did? What's going on, Nine? You know who has sacked Mahomes the most in the last 5 years? Who is it? It would be none other than Max Crosby. That's right, Max Crosby. All right, Hurricane Mike has Chiefs winning 27-18. Shout out to Derek L. How you doing, my brother? Hurricane Mike, non-fiction. My brother St. John Butler is in the building. How you doing, my brother? Young City Night War is in the building, baby. Thank you all for being here. So right now, with this contest, it's Chiefs. We all lean the Chiefs. Hurricane Mike gives it 27-18. Mike, I ain't far behind you with this score. I think it's a division game. I'm going with this. I'm going with it. I think it's going to be closer than what we think. I'm going to go 24-20 Chiefs over the Raiders. Next game up, family. The Miami Dolphins, the 1-5 Dolphins against the 1-5 Cleveland Browns. Where should we start in this contest? Well, simply put, these teams have been a mess, especially the Dolphins, man. It's just like you on. It's right now. It's like we're on standby watch, just waiting for doomsday, cut down day. You're waiting for the Turk to knock on the door to tell you to bring your playbook, and the playbook that they're going to be asking for, well, not even asking for, but telling him to take his playbook with him, is Coach McDaniel there in Miami. The Dolphins are 1-5. That's a disappointing start to the season for the Dolphins. The Dolphins are looking like a team that is rebuilding. They should not look like a team that is rebuilding. This team has greatly underachieved this season, and for the last 2 seasons, they have been underachieving under Coach McDaniels. The writing's on the wall. It is time for change in South Beach, and the time is now. Now, they take on a spunky Cleveland Browns team with arguably the best defense in the National Football League. We know what they can do on that side of the ball. Joe Flacco, of course, got traded to the Cincinnati Bengals. Dylan Gabriel has come in as the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Anything spectacular? No, just solid play. But last week, he had his rookie moments for the Cleveland Browns. Again, Cleveland has a championship defense. They are missing that offense. But one thing that has been a pleasant surprise, and it needed life for the Browns, has been Quinshawn Junkins, the young running back from Ohio State. He has given them a legit threat coming out of the backfield. But not only him, fellow rookie, tight end Harold Fanning Jr. If you don't have Harold Fanning Jr. on your fantasy team, you might want to go hit that waiver wire now and see if he's there. Because right now, Harold Fanning Jr. leads the Browns. I'm going to say it again. He leads the Browns with 28 receptions for 254 receiving yards. This is the most receptions by a Browns rookie in their first 6 career games in franchise history. I'm going to say it again. His 28 receptions is the most by a Browns rookie, barred up position, in their first 6 career games in franchise history. Harold Fanning Jr., the rookie from Bowling Green. You know they got a Joku on the other side. So that 12 personnel with your 2 tight ends and Junkins in the backfield, young weapons there for the Browns. Now, since coming back out of retirement, since making his return in week 4, Dolphins tight end Darren Waller has caught 10 passes for 117 yards, and he's another pickup you might want to get, and 4 touchdowns. Among tight ends with at least 50 routes run during that span, Waller leads the position in air yard targets at 12.1, and is the only tight end averaging double-digit air yards per target. So 2 tight ends that you might want to look at today in this contest. And again, if you're a fantasy player, you need tight ends for your fantasy team today. These are 2 tight ends you might want to take a look at. And man, how are we going to talk about any Browns game without talking about one of the most feared defenders in the National Football League, in Myles Garrett? Garrett has generated a 15.6% pressure rate this season, his second lowest since 2018, though. 3 percentage points lower than his 18.6 mark in 2024. However, he has faced chip blocks on 31% of his pass rushes this season, the second highest rate among edge rushers in the National Football League. So when you're a man, when you're the beast, when you're one of the premier pass rusher defensive players in the National Football League, you get that attention. So teams, they are doubling them, they are chipping them with a tight end and with a back. So you have to take that into consideration. But still, the Browns have an awesome defense. Browns, Dolphins today. The Browns at home. I'm going with the Browns. I think Jenkins, my guy, Jenkins goes off today. Give him 23 carries, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Browns over the Dolphins today, and I'm going to say Browns 21, Dolphins 17. All right, let's go to chat. Let's see. Hurricane Mike says, Isco, Mike's gone with the Browns 24-19. Mike said, Dolph, I don't trust Miami. All right. 9 said the damn Dolphins. 2 effed up my fantasy team. He about to get dumped too. All right. Shout out to my brother Zach. What's going on, baby? Say should be a raining game as well. Jenkins and A-Chain about to eat. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even mention A-Chain. He of course, that kid is explosive with the ball in his hand also. But yeah, so looking at this contest, family, again, I got the Browns in this one, 21-17. Now, the next game on our docket, our opening docket, is a game that's close to my heart. All right, my 1-5 rebuilding New Orleans Saints, baby, head to Chi-Town to the Windy City, baby, where it's supposed to be nasty weather today. It's supposed to be raining, baby, in the 60s. Man, that's football weather. Well, listen, the Bears fresh off a win over the Washington Commanders, a impressive win on the road against the Commanders, man. Swift went off for 100 and about 14 yards or more. I think I may be underselling him, but I know he averaged like 7.7 yards per carry in that contest. Look for the Bears, man, to try to use that run game to set up their passing game. Though the Saints are struggling defensively, they are 5th in the league in stopping the run. Their problem has been a lack of pass rush and also giving up the big plays. And offensively, the Saints have just struggle is being kind. The Saints are horrible, terrible, despicable in the red zone. That falls on second-year quarterback Spencer Rattler and every single offensive player on that field. They have to get it right in the red zone. If they start improving their success rate in the red zone, they may be able to string some wins together. Now, this game also, it's a lot of storylines in this game. First of all, you got 2 former Oklahoma quarterbacks going at it. Caleb Williams, Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler was the man at Oklahoma. Caleb Williams was the backup. Spencer Rattler struggled in the Red River rivalry. He was replaced by Caleb Williams, never to see the field again at Oklahoma. We know that Spencer would go on to South Carolina, and Caleb would eventually move to USC and then win the Heisman Trophy and be selected number 1 overall by the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams has 29 touchdown passes and 8 interceptions in his NFL career. He takes care of the football. 29 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. So among 98 quarterbacks to attempt at least 600 passes, only Patrick Mahomes has a better touchdown to pass interception ratio in their first 2 career seasons than Caleb Williams. And with Ben Johnson coming on as head coach this year, bringing his excellent offensive mind to the Bears, you can see that things are starting to slow down as far as Caleb Williams getting comfortable in Johnson's system and Johnson understanding just what buttons to push for his young quarterback. Now, for New Orleans on the other side, they selected Tyler Shuck with the 40th overall selection in the second round, and everyone thought it was a foregone conclusion that Tyler Shuck would be the starter, except Spencer Rattler. Somebody forgot to tell Spencer Rattler there. Now, has Spencer Rattler been off the charts? No, he has not. Has he been terrible? Hell no. Has he been close to terrible? Hell no. Has he been average? No, I would say he's been above average. There are things he has to work in. His completion percentage in the red zone is like 43%. That has to get better. But that also goes to offensive line protection, route running, the ability to run the ball, or dare I say the lack of ability to run the ball in the red zone. But Spencer Rattler is the only quarterback in the NFL to attempt at least 200 passes with 1 or fewer interceptions in 2025. And the other quarterback also lives in the NFC South, and we spoke about him earlier, Baker Mayfield. So Rattler and Baker Mayfield tied for the NFL lead with 5 QB starts without a giveaway in 2025. And for the Saints to have any chance today, Rattler must protect the ball and they must start scoring touchdowns in the red zone. But I ain't gonna speak with my heart, man. I got to speak reality. I think the Bears win this game. The Saints had beaten the Bears 8 straight times going into the game today. I don't think the Saints get it done today. I'm going with the Bears in this contest. I'm going Bears 23, Saints. They favorite point total of the season, 19. They scored 19 in the last 3 games. So I'm going Bears over the Saints. All right, family, let's go. Keep it moving, baby. This is As the NFL Turns. I'm your host, Dolph Jackson. Your boy's rolling solo again this week. My family of brothers, my family of hosts, man, they'll be back with your boy next week. Cash In with Carlos will be back. Folding Out with Lawrence will be back. We all will be in the building, baby. So here we go, baby. Let's get to the chat right quick. Hurricane Mike says, I said the Dolphins will suck before the season. St. John the Butler says Kendrick's revenge game versus D. And yeah, I kind of overlooked that with purpose because I've been talking about it all week, man. But the Saints are facing their former head coach today, Dennis Allen, who is a defensive coordinator for the Bears. All right, let's go to this game here. This game also has a lot of twists in it, a lot of plots. You got the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right, the all of a sudden struggling Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The Eagles have struggled the last 2 weeks offensively, and going up against the Vikings in that defense will not be a picnic or a walk in the park. I don't know if this Vikings defense is the get-right defense that the Eagles offense needs. In fact, I'm calling for another upset today. I believe the Eagles, I know Eagle Nation, I know y'all want to fly, baby. I know you want to fly, but right now you've been going in a spiral, baby. It's like somebody was skeet shooting, baby, and they're going to pluck you out the sky, baby. And I think it continues today. I think the Vikings get the Eagles today in this contest. And listen, the Eagles went an entire game with no passing yards. They're not beat Minnesota without passing the ball, and it's a revenge game. Carson Wentz still the starter. J.J. McCarthy practice on a limited basis. He is the emergency quarterback today. But in his last 3 outings, Carson Wentz, in 2 of his last 3 outings, Carson Wentz has had a 100 or better passer rating. He has given the Vikings what they have needed at the quarterback position. Steady play, a veteran who gives them an opportunity to score enough points to win the game because of the defense that they have. Now, Carson Wentz has been sacked on 12 of his 39 pressure dropbacks this season, which has resulted in him having the highest pressure to sack rate in the NFL. What about his counterpart? Here's a little nugget for you on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has recorded an average time to throw of 3.16 seconds when facing zone coverage this season, the longest in the league. As a result of his propensity to hold onto the ball, Hurts has been sacked on 10.5% of his dropbacks when facing zone coverages, the second highest rate in the NFL. So what is that saying? That's saying he's not sure. He's a if you're patting the ball, it's a zone defense. That's showing you as a quarterback, you're not sure of yourself. And right now, we're talking about Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl winning quarterback Jalen Hurts. And right now, he is not playing at that caliber for the Eagles this season. The running game, Saquon Barkley has been held in check the entire season. He needs that breakout game. For them to have a chance today, Saquon and A.J. Brown, I believe, have to be pivotal for them to get this win. But I'm going to go with the Vikings in this one, taking out the Eagles and sending the Eagles to their 3rd straight loss. Man, I mean, a part of me wants to say, come on, dog, are you really? Hey, man, I'm just calling it like I'm seeing, man. Right now, I think that the Eagles, man, they're gone. This is their rough patch. This is their rough patch of the season right now. They get a fresh Viking team coming off a bye at home. Super Bowl champions coming. You're going to get the Vikings best, man. So I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think it's going to be a close one. In fact, I think it'll be a walk-off field goal, man. I'm going 24-21 Vikings over the Eagles. Let's go to the chat and see what we got here. 9 says Bears over the Saints 24-16. Annie Marie, how you doing? Come on in. Thank you for being here. Annie Marie says go New England, #1 AFC East. Congrats to the Patriots. Annie says I'm surprised that the Eagles are now struggling big time. And he also said would not surprise me if the Vikings are hungry for a win. Yeah, I mean, listen, coming off the bye, the Vikings, like I said, Carson Wentz has steadied the ship for him. Since J.J. McCarthy had that opening night heroic performance in the second half, of course, the young man, congratulations to him on the birth of his child. And then, of course, after that, man, he gets hurt, but his play was not there. He looked against Atlanta, which was his last game he played. The Falcons made him look just like he looked in the first half of the opening game of the season, like a rookie who was overmatched. So I think right now, them continuing to go with Carson Wentz is the smart thing to do. You continue to go with Carson Wentz, and you let J.J. McCarthy sit. You let him learn. You don't rush him back. He has a high ankle sprain. You don't rush him back from there. You let him sit behind a veteran quarterback. You let him learn how to be a pro. What's it going to take? Listen, he sat behind Sam Darnold last year after the injury he had. And the only way, of course, you're going to get better is when you get out there and get reps. So take those mental reps. And then when he gets his opportunity to get out there on the field, go out there and handle his business. But for now, I'm going to take the Vikings over the Eagles in the upset. All right, now, here's another game with a twist. The Patriots taking on the Tennessee Titans. The Patriots right now are flying high, and for good reason. They are 4-2. Winners of 4 of their last 5 games. They sit atop the AFC East. That's right, the AFC East, baby, is led by the New England Patriots, not the Buffalo Bills, baby. Why? Because they went in the Buffalo, baby, and they ran all through those wagons that the Bills were trying to circle. Last week, they went down to the Big Easy, baby, and they marched out of New Orleans with a victory. Now at 4-2, they take on the 1-5 Cam Ward-led Tennessee Titans, clearly in the rebuild. I got the Patriots in this one. I ain't gonna spend too much time on this one. I got the Patriots in this one, family. Patriots, and I got them big. I got the Patriots winning this one, 28-16. Now, here's something about Drake May. Give me one moment. All right, quarterback Drake May has completed 73. Drake May has a 73.2 completion percentage and is averaging 253 passing yards per game in 2025. May is the only quarterback aged 23 or younger. I'm gonna say it again. He's the only quarterback aged 23 or younger since 1950 to have a completion percentage of 70 or better and average at least 250 passing yards in his first 6 games of the season. Drake May right now playing great football for the Patriots. He's turning into, right before our eyes, that franchise quarterback that the Patriots envisioned when they selected him in the first round last year. Now, this year's number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward, he's the only number 1 overall selection at quarterback since the 1970 merger, with fewer touchdown passes in his first career starts since Hall of Famer Terry Bradshaw, John Elway, and Alex Smith. And no disrespect, Alex Smith, he was a good NFL quarterback, but he was not Hall of Fame. But Terry Bradshaw and John Elway, 2 Hall of Famers, also started out kind of like Cam Ward. Ward has thrown just 3 touchdowns this year, which are tied for the fewest among 34 qualified quarterbacks. Titans right now a mess. They fired the head coach. I mean, what do you expect the man to do when you don't give him, you want him to cook the meal, but you don't want to give him the necessary ingredients. You got a young, promising quarterback. He needs talent around him. They have to get talent around him. Now, Tony Pollard, when facing this Patriots defense, the Patriots defense has limited opposing rushers to just 2.4 yards after contact on design runs this season, which is the 3rd lowest mark in the league. Go be a tough outing today for the Titans. Mike Vrabel goes back to Tennessee, where he had success. Remember, he took the Titans to the AFC Championship game. Man, it's Patriots all day in this one. I don't see the Titans being able to score enough to keep up with the Patriots. I'm going with the Patriots. And this one, Hurricane Mike's calling this score too. Mike's calling it 27-16. 9 says speaking of the Tennessee Titans, they have to build around Cam Ward. He has what it takes to be special. That's it. They're in the process of building this thing. But now, what vision do you have? You have an interim head coach. You're going to be back on the market searching for a head coach. And who's to say that head coach that comes in feels that Cam Ward is his guy? Real talk. Think about it. Who says that whoever is hired as head coach, that Cam Ward would be his guy? All right, Anne Marie says, that fire former head coach of the Titans look more like an assistant head coach. I got you. Kelly, how you doing? Come on in. Kelly's in the building, baby. Again, this is As the NFL Turns. I'm your host, Dolph Jackson. Once again, I know you're tuning in. You're like, Dolph, where's Zach? Where's Nine? Where's Carlos? Where's Lawrence? Where's Coach at? Where's Cowboy at? Well, they're not here today. We're a family, baby. That's why I hold it down for my brothers, man. Everybody, the game will be back in full effect next Sunday, baby. Thank you all for being here. Do us a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe. This is As the NFL Turns. And help us grow this channel, grow our YouTube channel, family. Please go over to YouTube. Please find Come On In Sports Network. Please subscribe to the Come On In Sports Network and set your notification bell. We not only have great shows like this, we also live stream NFL. We will be live streaming NBA games this season. NBA, WNBA, NCAA basketball, cricket, rugby, you name it, Formula One. We do it all here at the Come On In Sports Network. All right, so here we go. Let's see. Real fan says Cam hasn't been that bad, but the team is just horrible. Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. Hurricane Mike says the Titans are going to hire someone who is in agreement with Cam. Yeah, I know, Mike, but I'm just saying though, let's say they do hire someone who's on the outside looking in and believes that Cam Ward is agreeing that, hey, I can work with this. But then he gets in the building and gets around them every day. And all of a sudden says like, I don't know if this kid can turn into what everybody envisioned him of being. What do you do? All right, just saying. Who else is in the building? Hello, Sydney. Sydney's in the building. Sydney said the Saints over the Bears. You're speaking with your heart. I understand. I'm a who that for life, but I cannot. I cannot, bro. We beat the Bears 8 straight times. I don't think we beat them 9 straight times, especially with this team inability to run the ball consistently and horrible special teams, because the Saints special teams is atrocious, but we've already talked on that. So with this contest, everybody's got the Patriots winning this game, and I think they win it quite handily. All of a sudden, this game right here, man. 2-4. New York Giants at the 4-2 Denver Broncos. I would say that it looks right now, the arrow is pointing in the direction as if the New York Giants have finally found their heir apparent to Eli Manning and Jackson Dart. Dart is the third quarterback since 1950 with 50 rushing yards in each of his first career starts. Who's on that list with him? Well, the others to do it are Jalen Hurts in 2020 and Lamar Jackson in 2018. Lamar Jackson, of course, holds the record with 50 rushing yards in each of his first 5 starts to start the career. Now, earlier we were speaking about Myles Garrett being one of the most feared pass rushers and defensive players in the National Football League. But this game today has the NFL leader in sack, Nick Bonito. Bonito leads the NFL in sacks with 8 sacks in 2025. The last team to lead the NFL in sacks and have the individual sack leader in the same season was the 2021 Pittsburgh Steelers with T.J. Watt. Remember that year? T.J. Watt, he won the AP Defensive Player of the Year award. So right now, Bonito has 8 sacks. He leads the team while the Broncos lead all teams in sacks with 30. So look for them to try to get at Jackson Dart today. But Jackson Dart, of course, he is a problem with his legs. He can use his legs to get out of trouble. So they're going to have to rush with lane discipline. Trying to rush this young quarterback. And then the battering ram in the backfield, Cam Scatterbo, has accounted for 24% of the Giants' scrimmage yards in 2025. That would be the second highest shared by a Giants rookie since 2000, only behind Saquon Barkley's 33 0.5% in 2018. Hey, we all felt in love with Cam Scatterbo last year at Arizona State. And this young man has come into the NFL, man. He's gone to the Giants, and I think it's a perfect place. Cam Scatterbo in the Big Apple playing for the Giants, baby. That gritty style that he has, man. So look for this to be a closer game than many expect. Matter of fact, I think this is going to be a competitive game, and I'm about to do my first one of the day, baby. Oh, that's right, baby. Upset. Dolphins calling him. The Giants go in the Mile High City, baby, and they pull the upset. They take out the 4-2 Broncos. Giants over the Broncos today, baby. Giants 24, Broncos 20. Yeah, I said it, baby. I know Bronco Nation. Like, man, Dolph, you tripping. There's no way they come. I'm telling you, baby, y'all in trouble, baby. Jackson Dog, Cam Scatterbo, Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Thibodeau. And oh, yeah, it's been a lot of back and forth all week talking to each other on social media. I'm telling you right now, I got the Giants with this upset, and I really feel good about this game calling this upset. All right, let's go to the chat. Nine says that'll be a big upset. Hurricane Mike said Cam Scatterbo is a crazy man. I'm with you. Even the Giants are starting to turn things around. That's right. Giants, Hurricane Mike has the Giants winning 16-15. All right. Next game on the docket, Green Bay taking on Arizona. How should I put this? Excuse me, I'm skipping over. Let's go to Colts. Let's go to the Colts taking on the Chargers. Now, the Chargers started the season 1-3. They have, started the season 3-0. Since then, they have gone 1-2 in their last 3 games. They take on the 5-1 Indianapolis Colts, one of the top teams in the AFC. Daniel Jones, man, salute to that kid. That kid has reemerged, has redefined his career. And so far this season, Daniel Jones has faced the blitz on 35% of his dropbacks, which is the 3rd highest rate in the league. However, after facing the blitz rate of 62% in the first 2 weeks of the season, he has only been blitzed 20% of dropbacks since week 3, which is the full lowest rate over that span. In the first 2 seasons, Jones averaged 9.7 yards attempt against the blitz, most in the NFL, but has averaged just 6.8 yards per attempt since week 3. On the other side, guy, he's going to have to keep an eye out for his future Hall of Famer, in my opinion, Derwin James. James has been targeted on only 11% of his coverage snaps this season, which is the 3rd lowest rate among slot cornerbacks in the league. All right. All right, family, we back, baby. Here we go. So, Chargers, like I said, Derwin James, one of the most least targeted defenders in the National Football League at the slot position. Derwin James has led the Chargers with 28 pass rushes this season, also the most by any defensive back in the NFL. So Derwin James is going to be all over the field. Daniel Jones will have to identify each and every single time where Derwin James is lining up, because he's a difference maker. He's a game changer. Now, Daniel Jones has his own game changer in the backfield and running back Jonathan Taylor. Taylor has forced a league high 41 missed tackles across his 135 touches this season. Let's hear that again. Jonathan Taylor has forced 41 missed tackles on 135 touches this season and has rushed for 239 yards after forcing those missed tackles, which is the second most in the league. He's the only player to force 10 plus missed tackles in 2 separate games and has forced at least 5 missed tackles in all but 1 game this season. Jonathan Taylor, healthy, is one of the best backs in the National Football League, and that is on full display this year. Justin Herbert has scrambled on 13% of his dropbacks this season, which is the 16th highest among qualified quarterbacks. Now, although he has only scrambled to run on 4% of those dropbacks, he has been productive when doing so, gaining 154 rushing yards, which is the 5th most and a league-leading plus 64 rushing yards over expected on scramble runs this season. But when we speak about Justin Herbert, what do we look for Justin Herbert? Passing the ball. That has been these last 3 games. The passing game has not been what it has needed to be for the Chargers. And a more consistent running game will also help them. So I'm going with the Colts. I think the Colts win this game today. I think the Colts surprisingly do it. I don't know the spread for this game offhand, but hold on. Let's look. Let me see the spread. The spread for this game is all right. Colts 2. Well, the Chargers are favored by 2.5. I'm going with the Colts in this one, man. I just see the Colts winning this game. I'm going with the Colts to cover and to win the game outright. What's your thoughts, family? Put it in the chat. Colts, Chargers, one of the top games this Sunday afternoon, this Sunday evening. Who you got? All right. Got these bots coming in here. Let's get them on out of here. Hey, moderators, if y'all can, let's get them on out of here, man. The new mic count, man. Who was the dog? The dog is there loud for us, dog. Just to let you know. Yeah, man. That's why I had to get him out here, man. He don't know how to act. All right. Blame him. Okay, family. So let's keep it going. Green Bay against Arizona. When we begin to speak about the Arizona Cardinals, and I want you to hear me good. Desert Storm, Desert Swarm. I don't think Kyler Murray is the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals after this season. I believe that a change of scenery and a shakeup is good, not only for the organization, but most importantly, good for Kyler Murray. Now, in this game, across the field from Kyler Murray will be Jordan Love. Jordan Love has 20 games with a 100 or better passing rating since becoming the Packers starting quarterback in 2023. That's the 4th most games with 100 plus passing rating in the NFL in that span. And he trails Jared Goff, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. So Jordan Love, once again, the Packers, with Jordan Love, once again, the Packers have found a franchise quarterback through the draft. I mean, man, for Rodgers, and now Love. Now, the thing that Love has to do, which his two predecessors did, is lead the Packers to the Super Bowl and win a Lombardi. Now, he's not alone this year. He has help this year. Of course, the blockbuster trade early in the season, bringing Michael Parsons over to that Packers defense, was a game changer that instantly elevated them as one of the top contenders in the National Football League. They came out the gates playing like that. Then they had a loss. Then they had the tie with the Cowboys. So they kind of got back to things last week with a win over the Bengals. They're hosting the Cardinals. The Cardinals right now are a mess. Though Trey McBride, they great tight end, has 5+ receptions in each of his 6 games in 2025. He joined Mike Dicker, Zach Ertz, Greg Olsen, and Antonio Gates as the only tight ends in NFL history with 5+ receptions in each of the first 6 games of a season. So we must keep into consideration too that Arizona losing James Conner, then losing Trey Benson, their 2 top running backs, that's just not something you can overlook. Marvin Harrison Jr. he's been hit or miss this season. So with that being said, I just think Green Bay at home, a struggling Cardinals team, a team that lost a inexplicable game to the Tennessee Titans in the way that they lost it. I think this team is on a downward spiral right now, and I think it continues today at Lambeau. I'm going with the Packers in this one, 28-13. I know it's big. I don't see Arizona being able to keep up with the Packers offensively and defensively. I just think that Packers defense, they're going to get after Kyler Murray, and they're going to make life miserable for him today. So I'm going with the Packers over the Arizona Cardinals. All right, family. Again, this is As the NFL Turns. Thank you all for being here. There are 61 of us here in the building, baby. Thank you for joining us. Please, family, do your boy Dolph a favor. Hit that like button. If you're following us on X, give us a retweet, baby, and follow us here on X as well. Thank you all for being here. And now, let's keep it going, baby. Let's keep it going. Oh, man. Boy, this is throwback football here, man. Oh, I wanted to say that name, but I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna be politically correct as of 2025. It's the Commanders. It's the Cowboys. Woo! Big D, baby. 2-3-1 Cowboys. 3-3 Commanders. Commanders coming off a surprising loss on Monday Night Football, baby, to the Chicago Bears. Now they go to Big D to face their nemesis, the hated Dallas Cowboys, who are 2-3-1, coming off a surprising loss to the Carolina Panthers. And we talk about defenses that have been bad this season. Put the Cowboys defense up there too, with the Ravens, with the Saints, because they have been atrocious this season. Horrible, despicable, whatever you want to name. If you have a team that has a pulse at the QB position and a pulse offensively, and you play the Cowboys, it should get right game so far this season. And for Cowboy Nation, that's something you don't want to hear. That's something you don't like to hear. Again, now one thing that the Cowboys found this year was a running game. Javonte Williams has been a godsend for him. But last week he was shut down by the Panthers, held to 28 yards on the ground. For the Cowboys to be successful, I believe they still need Javonte Williams. They need that running game. And man, listen, shout out to George Pickens. CD went down. And how big was that trade now? This season when the Cowboys acquired George Pickens. Pickens is one of 5 players in the last 30 years with 500 receiving yards and 6 or more touchdowns in his first 6 games with a new team. He joins Hall of Famer Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, and Amari Cooper, who was with the Cowboys. So that's the group he is with. 500 receiving yards, 6 or more touchdowns in his first 6 games with a new team. George Pickens has just been balling, man. And shout out, because quiet as it kept, Dak Prescott has been playing MVP-style football this season. Just can't get any help from his defense. Now his counterpart has returned, Jaden Daniels. Daniels is 5-1 in his career versus Offensive Rookie of the Year winners, including 2-0 versus quarterback Offensive Rookie of the Year winners. His 5-1 record is the best career record by any Offensive Rookie of the Year winners versus other winners of the award since 1980. So remember, Daniels in 2024, Dak in 2016 are both former Offensive Rookie of the Year winners. Daniels, man, he steps his game up. Now, let's talk about this secondary for the Commanders. Marshawn Lattimore and Trey Amos. The Commanders defense has distinctively aligned their cornerbacks to the left and right side of the field this season. Trey Amos has been aligned at left cornerback on 93% of the snaps, while Marshawn Lattimore has aligned at right cornerback 93.6% of the snaps. So they're not following. They're not switching their cornerbacks. They're not letting them travel. They have confidence. That shows confidence by defensive coordinator and his cornerbacks. All right. So in this game today in Big D, Commanders coming off a shocking loss on the last walk-off field goal to the Bears. Cowboys coming off just a disappointing loss to the Carolina Panthers. At home, I believe that Dak's record against the NFC East, which is, I believe Dak has less than 5 losses in his career, 6 losses, in his career against the NFC East. It continues today in a shootout. Cowboys, because they're gonna have to score that often, they're gonna have to score with their defense. Cowboys, they have the ball last. They win walk-off field goal. Cowboys win 30-27 today over the Washington Commanders. All right. Nine says, Hurricane Mike has Commanders winning 2022-16. 9 says Redskins in the building. Even the Native Americans want the name back. Gotcha. All right, family. Let's keep it going. The number 1 defense in the NFL is in A-Town, baby. They are A-Town stomping over each and every single opponent they face. I'm talking about those dirty birds, baby. The Atlanta Falcons, baby. Monday Night Football. They made the reigning MVP look mortal. He was unable to put on his Superman cape. Why? Because the Falcons defense was that kryptonite. They hit him with a plateau of kryptonite and weakened his ass, baby. Falcons took out the Bills, baby. And now it's an old rivalry. Dating back to the NFC West days, baby. That's right. The damn Falcons were in the NFC West. Who the hell made up that map of the divisions? I don't know. But anyway, let's talk about today's game, baby. Going into today's game again, the Falcons against the 49ers. Where should we start? First of all, I'm going to start with the 49ers. A mass unit, man. Fred Warner gone for the year. Bosa, gone for the year. Purdy has been injured in and out the lineup. Mac Jones, his backup, has been playing, but he's hurt. By the way, Mac Jones leads the NFL with 313 passing yards a game, and Brock Purdy himself ranks second with 293 passing yards a game. The 49ers are averaging 291 passing yards per game in 2025, which is the most in the NFL by more than 20 yards per game. So whoever's the quarterback for Kyle Shanahan, they're getting the job done. Now, A.J. Terrell, cornerback for the Atlanta Falcons, has shadowed a receiver in 6 games. He shadowed a receiver in 6 games last season. Sutton, Metcalf, Pickens, Evans, Johnston, and McLaurin, the third most in the NFL, but has yet to record a shadow game of any this season. Why? Because that Falcons defense on the other side of them, man, they have been lining up. Listen, I know a lot of us I see a lot of my Who That Nation members are in the chat, man. Liking the not family, the truth is the truth. The Falcons are balling. They have a defense in Atlanta. Now, their problem is going to be how soon can their young signal caller really get it together on a consistent basis? Because they have running game, they have the tight end, they have the receiver, they now have a defense. They're going up against an injury-plagued 49ers team today. You got B. John Robinson, who leads the NFL with 822 all-purpose yards, despite only playing 5 games in 2025. That's crazy. This man has 822 scrimmage yards, and he's only played in 5 games this year. He's averaging 164 yards per game from scrimmage, the most by a player in a single season in NFL history. He's on a historical path right now. Now, at the beginning of the season, he said his goal was to rush for 2,000. May have to do a little work for that, but he's such an all-purpose back. He can do it all. And that run he had against Buffalo, man, down that right sideline was just special. He's been a special player since his days at the University of Texas. And you can see why he was so highly regarded coming out of the draft 2 years ago. So in this contest, I'm going to go with the Falcons on the road. I believe defense travels. Defense travels, family. I'm going to go with the Falcons over the 49ers. And one of the top games today also, Atlanta at San Francisco. I believe the Falcons improved to 4-2 and the 49ers fall to 4-3. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. All right, next game up, the Houston Texans taking on the Seattle Seahawks. In this contest, guy I like to talk about, a lot of people were talking about, and it's time to give him his respect. Last year was not a fluke. Last year's performance by Sam Darnold was not a fluke. Just like as human beings, we all mature at different rates and in different ways. It took Sam Darnold time to become the player that many envisioned him being when he came into the league. And that happened last year in Minnesota. And now this year, this offseason, the Seahawks reached out, signed him to a lucrative deal, said, we believe in you. We believe that you are a franchise quarterback. We believe that you are now in the prime of your career. We believe that you are now hit the peak of your talents and that you are one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. And Sam Darnold has definitely delivered. He's ranked 3rd in the NFL with 1,541 passing yards. Despite the Seahawks passing on just 50% of plays, which is the lowest pass rate in the NFL. Yet, Sam Darnold ranks 3rd. Darnold will be the first quarterback in the Super Bowl era to rank top 3 in passing yards in a season when his team ranked last in passing rate. Now, his counterpart, third-year quarterback C.J. Stroud, took the league by storm his rookie year, but last year came crashing down to earth. Was it a sophomore slump? Many say it was a sophomore slump. Got off to a kind of slow start this season. But for his career, he has a 70.8 completion percentage and a 102 passer rating in 2025. Stroud has 6 touchdown passes over his last 2 games, which are 2 more than his previous 7 games combined, including playoffs. But today, I'm going to see if C.J. Stroud really is back, because his last 2 games where he threw those 6 touchdown passes were against the Ravens and the Titans. Let's see if he can do that today against the Seattle Seahawks. I don't believe he can. I believe Seattle and the 12th man gets the job done. I got the Seahawks winning this game today, family. I got Seattle 27, Houston 21. All right, family, let's keep it going. Down. All right, family. And here's the game of the week. That's the one I've been waiting for. I talked about it coming on earlier about Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Lions. 2 quarterbacks that were given up on by the teams that brought them into the National Football League, the Browns and the Rams. Jared Goff was quarterback when the Rams reached the Super Bowl. Prior to them getting Matthew Stafford, he was the quarterback. He was the scapegoat. He was the person that many blamed for the Rams not winning the Super Bowl. So the Rams moved off him and they went to Matthew Stafford, and I can't blame them. At the time, could you really blame them? Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff. Just like I spoke about Sam Darnold, let's talk about Jared Goff right quick. Jared Goff came in, top quarterback selected. He wasn't a bust with the Rams, but what he has matured into with the Detroit Lions is arguably one of the top 6 to 7 quarterbacks in the National Football League. And damn it, he might be him and Baker Mayfield. To me, this game is for who's the best quarterback right now in the NFC. 5-1, taking on 4-2. Bucks have been winning despite a plateau of injuries. Lions come off a disheartening loss to the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. Now they got NFC leading Tampa Bay coming to town, baby. Big game. They're at home. They back in the dome. I believe it's going to be crazy. That atmosphere is going to be crazy Monday night. Tampa Bay is expected to get Mike Evans back for this game. But I think back at home on that turf, I believe that the Lions, baby, in that Lions den, they will get past the Buccaneers in what I think would be an exciting game. I'm going to go 27-26. Lions just get by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's my call on our, as the NFL turns, game of the week. All right, family, give me your pick for this game in the chat right now. Who do you got winning this one? Lions or Buccaneers, family? Lions or Buccaneers? Who wins this game? All right. Going back, Hurricane Mike has the Seahawks winning the game. Hurricane Mike says Bucks win 28-16. Okay. So Mike thinks it's 28-16. I think I missed this one. Real Fan Sports. Shout out to my brother Zach. Zach says definitely ready to watch some football tonight. Should be a good game. Mac Jones been holding down. Kittle and Jennings back. Yeah. Oh, okay. Kittles and Jennings is back. I didn't know that tonight. So that does make a difference. More weapons back for that 49ers offense. All right. Let's see. Nine's gone with the Buccaneers to win this thing. Nine has Buccaneers winning. It's something about, yeah, man. Baker, man, again. Baker Mayfield is arguably he has turned into one of my favorite players in the National Football League to watch and cheer for, except of course when he's playing my Saints. But But anyway, we got the Bucks winning that one, baby. We gonna keep it moving on. Again, this is As the NFL Turns. Thank you all for joining us for today's show. And like I said, baby, I was opening up the lines. I'm going to open up the lines right now. If you'd like to come on, man, come on. Give me your thoughts on your favorite team and your thoughts on the NFL right now. As we are in week 7 has kicked off across the pond, and it's the Rams all over the Jaguars, baby. 28-0. Ferguson with the touchdown for the Rams. They're just laying it all over the Jaguars in London, baby. All right, family. Nine says I just enjoy watching the Hardy shows on the field. Exactly, man. He plays that heart and passion that Baker Mayfield plays with. Again, this is As the NFL Turns. All right, we got a special guest coming on. We got a young man who does have his own podcast. He's a fan of the New Orleans Saints, but he's a fan and a knowledgeable fan of the National Football League. And let's bring him on right now. Young Hurricane Mike. Mike, how you doing today? Come on in.
What's good, bro?
Oh, man. Nothing much, man. Hold on, Mike. Let me get you up there, baby. There you go. What's going on, Mike?
What's going on, man?
Doing good, man. Ready for a good day of some football. See some good action, man.
Yeah.
Besides your team, your New Orleans Saints, man, we'll touch on them last. What are your thoughts about some of the games today, man? What are some? Give me 2 games that you will be keeping a key eye on today.
Well, yeah. So there's a few games that when the schedule originally came out, I was like, okay, it could be interesting. And one of those games, I ain't gonna lie, when the schedule came out, I was not really a fan of. But now looking at it, it's like I'm going over to Minnesota. It's like the Eagles-Vikings game. It's like with them, the Eagles, I'm looking at this game. Can the Eagles offense get right? Okay. The Vikings defense is tough. What's up, man? The Vikings defense is tough. And the Eagles offense has been sluggish. Like ever since Drew Brees said the Eagles offense was boring, they've been more than boring. They've been sluggish. So can the Eagles offense finally get right against a solid defense in Minnesota? And then on the Vikings side, can Carson Wentz lead the Vikings to victory against the team that threw him in the trash? Can he do it? Or is he going to prove the Eagles right? Now, to be honest, the Eagles probably don't really care anymore, but Carson Wentz still probably cares. So can he put his foot down on the Eagles' throat and just do the thing? Okay, that's the first one. And also, Justin Jefferson, he's going up against, I think Quinyon Mitchell's playing. I know he got hurt last week. I think Mitchell's going to be playing. I hope he is. So that's going to be a great matchup to watch as well. Plus, it's going to be A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. It's probably going to be the best duos going at it, the receiver department. And and another game I will be looking towards will be later today. That Giants-Denver game. It's not because I think one team's way better than the other. It's because have you been seeing how the players and the fans been going at each other's necks? Oh yeah,
I love it. I can't wait.
It started with the John Cooper being like, man, Jackson, he's alright and stuff. And then the Giants fans came after him, and I think Abdul Carter even said something. And then Nick Benito came after him, and then Giants fans were exposing him for being a former Giants fan or whatever. Even though he said Giants fans are losing, man, it's madness going on over there in Colorado. Man, I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, that's one I can't wait for either, Mike. Well, Mike, let's talk about your favorite team, man. Your rebuilding New Orleans Saints, man. They're in the Windy City today. They're taking on a team that's hot in the Chicago Bears, a team that's coming off an impressive win Monday night against the Commanders. Would you say your team has any chance in pulling the upset today?
I do.
Okay.
I generally do, and here's why. And I'm not just speaking with my heart here, okay? Because I'll give you some reasons. One, I looked at the stuff before the game. The Bears' run defense is not that good, okay? And Kamara, he's not been a world beater, but Kamara's still solid back. So if the Saints can get a run game going, if the Saints can rely on the run game and don't make Rattler, because this is what the Bears want. The Bears want Spencer Rattler to beat them. The Bears want you to beat them with Spencer Rattler. So you got to look at them and be like, look, Rattler's good and all, but we're going to make Kamara help Rattler beat you. So that's what the Saints got to look at. Because the Bears, they're going to want Rattler to beat them. The Bears are going to probably show a lot of blitzes. The Bears are probably going to put 8 man in the box sometimes.
Right.
So you got to rely on a balanced game. If you've been checking out the Hurricane Mike show, shout out to me and my pops, we've been saying the entire year, balance is where it starts, balance is where it ends, okay?
Yes.
So you can't just be one-dimensional. You have to run the ball, basically as much times as you pass the ball, so you can keep the Bears off guard. That's one thing of how the Saints can get the win today. And number two, this is the second reason why I think the Saints can win. The Bears got that boy Dennis Allen. The Saints ain't forget about that. Like, Kellen Moore can downplay it all he wants. I know Cam Jordan still remembers. I know DeMario still remembers. They're going to try to show it to their old head coach. I'm telling you. And now my third reason is the Saints are beating the Bears 8 times in a row. And look, I'm all for the winning streak, so let's go. And also, fourth reason, LSU lost yesterday. And usually when one team loses, the other team wins. So let's go.
All right, Mike, man, I appreciate you as always, man. Thank you for coming on. And this has been Team Pulse with Hurricane Mike. Again, we want to thank Hurricane Mike. Young brother does a great job, has his own podcast with his pops, man. Very informative, not just about his New Orleans Saints, man, but about the entire world of sports and the National Football League. Find that young brother on YouTube, man, Hurricane Mike Show, man, and give him a follow. That's my young brother, man. And boy, verse getting deeper every day, man. I remember he come on here sound like a baby. Now verse almost deep as mine. What up? I see you back there, Smiley Mike. All right, man. Enjoy your day of football. All right, family, listen. We about to get ready to get on out of here. This has been As the NFL Turns. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And yes, Travis Hunter has just caught his first career touchdown in the National Football League, man. So Travis Hunter, young man, despite it being handed to you, we salute Travis Hunter, man, for recording his first National Football League touchdown, man. But the score is still 28-7. And we got the co-host of a host of RFS Saints and co-host of Real Fan Sports, and my brother here on the Come On In Sports Network. Join us from the job, man. He's multitasking. Zach, come on in. What's going on, Zach?
Oh, man, chilling. Not too much to do today, thank God.
Yes, sir.
We're watching some football on in the little dock shack, just kind of hanging out, watching the Jags give them an ass whooping right now.
Yeah, they
Or
are,
give them an
man.
ass whooping, I should say.
Yeah, they're really whooping. They're whooping on it, man. Like Travis Hunter gets his first career touchdown, though, man.
Oh, did he score? I saw the
Yeah,
flag at first. It was
yeah,
defense.
yeah. I believe it stood. I
All
believe it
right, there we
stood.
go.
Yeah,
Man,
nine's
that's
reporting
crazy.
that it
That's
stood.
his first one. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, his first one, man. His first one, man.
That's
So,
crazy.
any thoughts on on any games today?
Man, I'm just excited for tonight's game. Niners and Falcons, man. I think it's gonna be a really good one. Especially with the way the Niners have been playing. Mac Jones getting a little bit of rebirth. We're at back-to-back years now where we've had some rebirths of quarterbacks that have been tossed to the side and now getting a second opportunity here. Mac Jones playing great with the Niners. I mentioned in the comments, but I want to add to it again. Just the thought process of Kyle Shanahan bringing in Kendrick Bourne, a player that Mac Jones is familiar with. I think that does so much for a guy like him having to step up for Brock Purdy, who's out for another consecutive week, to have a favorite target. Now Juwan Jennings coming back, Kittle coming back. Purdy I would assume he's going to be back, within a week, 2 at max. So, things are just kind of turning up. And like you talked about with the Falcons, the defense is there. And right now it's just play calling on the offense. Bijan Robson's been running it up.
Man, crazy, man. Those stats from scrimmage, over 800 yards from scrimmage, man. Just insane right now. The pace that he is on, man. We got an onside kick attempt in the Rams Jaguars game, and the Jaguars had they had an opportunity, but the Rams recovered it. So,
he missed it. Come on.
Yeah.
But I'm more pissed off that they scored at all because I got the Rams in one of my fantasy leagues. So, if you're gonna lose, just go ahead and get blown out.
Right. Most definitely. Well, look, my brother, thank you for tuning in, man. And we'll talk later on today, man. Be safe out there, man, and enjoy your day of football.
Yes, sir. I'll let you when I get home, bro.
All right, man. Talk to you later. All right, that's my brother Zach here at the Come On In Sports Network, host of RFS Saints, also co-host of Real Fan Sports with my brother 9P, Nonfiction, baby. All right, family. Again, before we get out of here, we're gonna take a look at some of the latest injury news. All right, here are some notable injuries, updates going on around the league. For the Bears, DeAndre Swift and Grady Jackson, both of it are expected to suit up today against the Saints. A groin injury came up this week in practice for Swift, but they are expecting him to play. For Green Bay, running back Josh Jacobs' status for Sunday's game. It looks as if it's going to be a game time decision. He's dealing with a illness and a calf strain. For the Dolphins, quarterback Quinn Ewers will serve as Tua Tagovailoa's backup for the game today in Cleveland. Stephon Diggs for the Patriots is expected to play against the Titans. He was dealing with like a chest contusion, but he is expected to play today for the Titans. Abdul Carter, he's dealing with a hamstring, and he is a game time decision for the clash today with the Broncos. Jalen Carter is expected to play. He's expected to return to the lineup today for the Eagles, and he is much needed. Tight end Zach Ertz is dealing with a shoulder and a calf injury, and he is expected to play today against the Cowboys. So that's your latest injury report. Again, thank everybody for being here. This is As the NFL Turns. You are tuned into the Come On In Sports Network. I'm your host, Dolph Jackson. We are here live each and every single Sunday morning, family, at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Today, I will be streaming for all my Hooters. I will be streaming the New Orleans Saints and the Chicago Bears game. Turn down the sound on your TV and turn up your boy dog, baby. We gonna have some fun. I'm gonna open up the lines, and we gonna have some. We gonna chop it up, and we gonna see if the Saints can find a way to upset the Chicago Bears. So on behalf of all my brothers and all my family members here at the Come On In Sports Network, thank you all for being here, family. I will see you all next Sunday, same time, same place. And remember, family, the doors are always open. So come on in. Talk to you later, family.
The Come On In Sports Network.